Hi everyone, we are back with you. This is Jan Bau and my friend Rudolf Schmidt, and today we'd like to talk about skills further. And today we want to touch the topic of how one can get skills, high income skills, and what price it comes with. So Rudolf, what a person needs to get competitive skills? Can you tell me a bit about it?
Yeah. Hey, Jan. Yeah, it's great to speak with you again. Yeah, the last time we covered the topic about what are skills, which skills are important, why they're important. And today we want to speak about in which way you can gain skills and under which circumstances, what's the price, etc. So you asked me how to gain the skills, right?
Right, what a person would need to get competitive skills.
Um, I would say everyone needs to get competitive skills. Yeah, the last time we discussed which skills for freelancers, freelancing software developers or designers, and I would say basically you have just two choices in this case. Yeah, or in general, you have the choice either to teach it by yourself, or you go another way and you take help from that to get the skills for yourself. And there are also middle ways. So either so the one extreme is you try to figure it out by yourself completely, by try and error basically. You just go the way and you try to do whatever. Last time we said marketing is important. You try to make marketing experiments, run campaigns, see the results and try to figure out from there. Another approach, or the same for closing sales calls, etc. A middle way could be that you read books. Yeah, you don't just go try and error. You try to read some information, get some resources from other authorities or people who are more advanced, share knowledge and read them and try to implement. Get some guidance, yeah, free information. A step further is that you take some education, some courses, yeah, watch some videos. It's basically somehow similar. Maybe you pay for the informations. And one way is, of course, that the next step could be maybe that you try to find a partner or friend or a team where you can try to figure out things, or if you work in a team, like you share some task with your partner, with your colleague, and he can focus on a certain task, you can focus on another task, and like that, everyone separate his work. One person does only the marketing, the other person does only sales or product delivery. And another way is you can go and find a teacher who helps you to implement
The knowledge.
the techniques, the knowledge, the information for you into your business. Today we want to speak about which of these areas, what are the pro and cons, basically. Yeah. So what do you think, Jan? What are the benefits of each of these ways?
Well, yes, I would agree with you here. Indeed, we get skills through education and through practice. I don't know any other ways. Of course, we can reinvent the wheel by ourselves and try to learn it on our own. But as in martial arts, you need to practice it. You need to go through it to have the habits and the automation that it creates in you in order to then, through practice, be able to deliver the great results. Yeah, so I would say it's a big privilege. Of course, it does take time. It's an investment of your emotions, of your psychological and nerves, and all sorts of resources, money, health. But it comes with great rewards if you know later on how to implement those skills and target them in the right direction. So acquisition of skills is a big priority, I would say, and unfortunately not too many people have the possibility to get competitive skills easily, but today with the development of technology and internet is available to anyone, people can learn a lot through it and take advantage of it, yeah, and even study on distance without attending real four-wall institutions. Yeah, so there's a lot happening today, and lots of companies teach through internet and on distance, which is a huge unleashed possibility for people to get skills and get education without actually spending time on commission. So I would say not a diploma or a degree that many people really strive to get would actually show your skills, but the implementation of those skills into practice, yeah, and the level of mastery that this or that company, this or that individual, this or that group would appreciate through delivery of a product or service. So that mastery that speaks of your high level of skilled habits. And degrees and diploma have, of course, a special statuses. For example, not talking about very famous universities and academies that already sort of reserve you place under the sun. Yeah, because a lot of companies go to these universities and grab those alumni, but most people, of course, don't have this possibility, so they can find ways how to learn and self-teach, and get private mentors or private teachers that would teach them just as valuable knowledge. Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't see any shortcuts. There's no easy way to just plug into yourself as into a robot, a program that would make you do whatever you can, whatever you want to do, but you have to acquire it all and learn it step by step. This path takes a long way. Yeah, I would say 25 to 30% of a person's life, the person has to constantly study something and learn something and to be able to deliver, to get to that level of mastery that is needed, that is demanded in the market. Why is it a condition today, do you think?
Yeah, let me give you the context here a little bit. I see a bubble happen in the internet with information. You noticed everywhere that everyone posts content and give information to several topics. You have even YouTube millions of videos to topic like how to make money online. You don't have a lifetime even, or you don't have the entire time that you can spend to watch all these videos. So the information in today's time is abundant. In the past it was different. You get information, then you add your own thoughts, you get inspiration, and then you experiment or you try to implement it. But in today's time, the abundance of information made a lot of distraction. The people they don't have orientation anymore. They don't know where to go, because obviously you cannot try everything by yourself. Yeah, you cannot take information, try to implement, and try it by yourself, because you don't have the time. So the first challenge that you have here is you need to find a way how to choose the right information, because there are some sources of information, they are not really reliable, or they have a different quality. Some people that speak about topics that they don't know what they speak about. They read a book and now they want to teach people, or they pretend to be something but they're not, and then they just copy paste information. And so with that problem is, and you need to see, and I don't know who said it, I should research that. It's a powerful statement. Elon Musk or Warren Buffett, one of them said, everything comes back to its real value, and all bubbles, they will burst and come back to their own to the real value. And the real value in content is only implementation. Content itself is completely useless. You can consume all the content, read all the books in the world, memorize everything. I mean, some people even do that, and it's funny, and they memorize a lot of useless things. But what's the point here? The point is here the implementation part. Information that don't make you implement something is useless, like clothes that you just put in front of you and never wear, and you just think, oh, it's beautiful clothes and I like to look to it. Like, Some people goes to universities and they lose themselves in theories and all that abstract buildings. They feel superior just because they have a lot of models in their head. Yeah, it's useless. Everything need to be applicable in the reality. So this is the first challenge, and because and a factor that makes it more challenging here is the time. I mean, in a other universe, maybe where time is unlimited, you could it doesn't matter which way you go. You can go by try and error and figure it out by yourself. Yeah, you can go partners, read books, whatever. Doesn't matter because the time is infinity. But soon it comes to time that is a limited resource. You need to think what is the best way to go that it makes sense in most cases. And then I like to give examples from martial arts, yeah, from sports like kung fu. Yeah, if you want to go to learn kung fu, for all people it's common sense that you go to a master teacher. Yeah, kung fu is created several thousand years. Yeah, or in general the art of fighting. Yeah, so you can read there are more books than you can read about that topic. Yeah, and nobody would do it because the time is not enough for that. You can spend, and the point is, you have a master who show you how to implement the techniques. It's still the life is not enough to really master it. So there's no other way around. But so the people accept that fact. You go to a master, he compress as much as possible he can the knowledge, and he show you which knowledge is the right for you right now. So he help to choose the information in a world of abundant informations, and he choose also they cover which step you are currently, that this information makes sense to you right now, and he helps you to implement this information in the content. And then I make that example of business. It's also a martial art kind of construct. Yeah, you need to cover a lot of skills. Yeah, to master that area. Yeah, you need to know how to market, how to sell, how to deliver a product, how to speak to customers, etc. Many skills, and it's nearly impossible to master all skills just by trial and error, because why you can spend all your lifetime like that, and so what's the fastest way? The fastest way is like kung fu. You go to a teacher to certain disciplines. You need to decide, okay, now I want to learn kung fu, or now I need to learn sales, and then you search a master of sales who can, like kung fu, show you which sales techniques make sense for you right now, which sales techniques make sense in this time, and how to implement it in the best way. And then maybe you can practical, implement it into the reality, that you get value. Yeah, not just consuming information and content about sales and theories. Nobody care about that. Yes. And that is about the implementation. And maybe if you feel that then he make you educate you that you become the same level like him, because you can only learn from someone who's advanced than you until you are the same, and then you need to search another master or better master who's higher. And like that, you have even between the masters stages, yeah. And like that, you compress the time basically, yeah. You learn faster because you get additional help from other people, yeah. Like little child, he cannot learn it by himself, so he get help from parents, from school, etc. And in this case, you're also like kind of child unknown, not unknown, new in knowledge, yeah, and you get help. And this is, I think, the trend to this time.
Yeah, I would also mention the importance of practicality of knowledge, that children or youngsters, pupils in the school get. I would say that today's education system, unfortunately, is not getting like in the same pace with the evolvement of global technology and innovation and sciences. So still children spend too much time learning things which just give them very abstract or basic knowledge about things that actually they would not need to implement probably ever in their life. So, and it takes them many, many years, yeah? So instead of learning actionable, practical knowledge or something that will really teach them not just to be a typical employee, yeah, just to do some function that the company is interested in, but actually to think critical and to develop a skill that would make them understand the reasons why things are like that, and in the future probably to succeed by actually doing something on their own, yeah, not being an employee all of their lives, yeah, although some people are happy doing that, but actually evolve and learn more things about it, yeah. So unfortunately schools are not teaching children to become entrepreneurs, which is bad, and people have to learn it on their own, unfortunately, yeah, through trial and error or through actually going through specific programs or mentors and so on, yeah, which is, yeah, you wanted to mention something, yeah?
Yeah, and let me add something. I mean, the problem of the school system is, and in many educational systems in general, you need to come from that perspective. I mean, a teacher is not just necessarily a teacher. They're teachers and teachers. If you want really to take knowledge, you cannot, for example, you choose a skill that you want to learn. Yeah, for example, like money. Yeah, how to earn money. You don't go to someone who has no like he living on the street. Yeah, and you ask him how to make money. I mean, he can also pretend to be a teacher. Yeah, and the point is, I mean, ask. And everyone need to be honest to himself. And if teachers hear that, they may become angry. But how many teachers are really successful in their own lives? Yeah, I mean, if a teacher he teach mathematics, yeah, I mean, it's good. You can take that. You can learn mathematics, but everything beyond mathematics you should not take from that person if he has not an authority in that. Mathematic teacher who teach, in the most cases they're not that successful in their life. You can even say they're broke somehow. Yeah, they finished the school, went to university, and went back to school again. What they've seen in their life? Nothing. Have they ever made millions or? I mean, they can read a book in the theory how it should be to be rich, and then they repeat that book in the class and think, okay, now they have educated someone. Yeah, I mean,
So that's the concept. There's the concept of the poor dad that Robert Kiyosaki has formulated. Yeah, in the rich dad and the poor dad. The poor dad is the one who was taught to get employed, have good marks, plan his pension, and so on.
This is what I want to mention, yeah, because these people, you cannot avoid it, that they also teach you their mindset, yeah, and their mindset is in the most cases broke, yeah, because they can't teach you how to be successful in their life because they are not successful in their life, so they only teach you how to be a teacher and how to be a bureaucratic guy working in a bureaucratic system, following rules. But in this time, you cannot be successful just by following the rules. Even Peter Thiel said one time that Silicon Valley goes bad because everyone copy each other. They copy their systems, their culture, the way how to present, how to make videos. Everything is copy. And if you just copy each other, you don't have innovation. And it's the same with the education system. It's never create innovation. It just copy each other, expected results, expected processes, and from all these strict rules and structures, you can never evolve into something new. Or it's really difficult, at least. Yeah, and
I want to the founders of Google, everyone knows Google. One of them, Larry Page or Sergey Brin, they said that ideally innovation has to be not incremental, which means step by step, making the next product 10% better or 5% better than previous, but radical. Yeah, so it has to be 100% or 200% better than the previous one, and then you have real innovation there.
Yeah. So and since we already understood that mindset is the biggest factor in success, yeah, it's important from who you take the mindset, yeah, and who tells you or what you're capable and whatnot. I mean, so much teachers I remember they have that arrogance to think they can estimate or give prognosis who will become who in the future, yeah. And instead to give the motivation and the courage to achieve something impossible, they just try to follow their prepare you for a job life. But in today's time, take a normal job, it's slavery. You just you just work your life, your complete life. You earn a little money, and that's it. Yeah, and in most cases, it's not even a pleasure. It's some statistics they even show that 90% of all people they hate their jobs. And the only reason why they work is because of money. Yeah, and so if you work for money, you should, and this is really your motivation, then you should really think about what's the best way to work for money that makes let you trade your time against money most efficient way. And in my opinion, the most efficient way to trade your time against money is freelancing, because freelancing gives you much more freedom. Because in business, let me tell you, the worst thing that you can have is the number one client, the number one investment, the number one partner, everything where you rely only on one component. Yeah, if you invest, you need to distribute investment. So if something failed, you have other options. And a business is the same. So if you want money, you need to think like a business owner, even your employee. So in employee, as an employee, you have one client, it's your employer. So no matter what even it's not your fault, he can kick you out or he can fire you and you're screwed. And why accept that? It's better to have 5 clients instead of 1 client. And as a freelancer, you can do that.
Yeah, not all people unfortunately have the courage or the commitment or even the knowledge how to be a freelancer, how to be able to generate your own clients and to actually build a clientele that will sustain you throughout many years. And I would say people stumble upon difficulties when they have a certain skill set that they get from school, college, university, whatever, then they get some job or maybe they don't get the job of their dreams or even not even maybe according to the profession which they actually got in the university, but something related or something they have remote interest for, but something that the market actually demands. So unfortunately, with the development of technology, the markets change, the demand change, everything, prices change for things, and people's dreams and careers change a lot, and a lot of people stumble upon huge problems in their, even in the 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s. They could be fired, they could lose the job, the company can get bankrupt. So a lot of things can happen. Yeah, just as like even if you are a freelancer or a small business owner, yeah, of course many things can happen with that too. But you may have more flexibility with that, and because you took the full responsibility, it's all yours, yeah, because you build it from zero.
And let me add also, from the logical perspective, freelancing makes much more sense. Yeah, it's more because it's really weird. They try to brainwash you with statements like it's more safe to be an employee. It's bullshit. Because like I said, or like it should be common sense already. Yeah, number one is the most dangerous. Yeah, so the most safe that you can have is multiple clients. So okay, that's the number one. They try to brainwash you. And the reason, and from the money perspective, it's also if you're a little bit established as a freelancer or you know how to do it, you earn much more money as a freelancer because you have more risk theoretically. But if you know how, you can minimize the risk in a smart way. Yeah, like a business owner, he has also more risk theoretically, but a successful business owner, he earns just a lot of money and he let all people work for him and he just collect the money only. So constantly, so practical, he don't have risk. And the reason why people don't start a freelance business in most cases is because they're afraid. I spoke about that, yeah. If you don't have the results that you want, it's because you're not a person yet. because you don't have the skills yet. You don't have the skills yet. You're not evolved enough. And in this case, the skills that you need, the two most important is marketing and sales. Because if you are freelancer, and the most employees, they're great in their work, in their, let's say, product delivery. We spoke about that last time. The hard skills. Yeah, they know how to be the expert in a certain topic. But beyond that, they're not interested, or they don't care, whatever. Yeah, and they're afraid to start that. But unfortunately, you need the skills, like we spoke about before. Business is martial arts, so you cannot go in the cage and you just know how to do ground combat. So then you face a fighter who just is a kickboxer and knock you out before you can take him to the ground. Yeah, so it doesn't work like that. You will fail a lot. So you need to know marketing and sales, because you need to know how to attract, how to convert strangers into paying clients. First, you need to attract them. And with marketing and sales, you can convert them. And then now we are back to the topic. So how to gain in the best way these skills? What do you think, Jan?
Oh, there's many layers and many circumstances, many ways to get skills. Yeah, as we mentioned, it depends on the age. Also depends on your possibilities. There's all sorts of teachers and false teachers, all sorts of ways you can learn something. But of course, you want to get a trustworthy source of knowledge, and that knowledge you would gradually convert into skill. Yeah, that would generate stability and income. Yeah, so I would say the most privileged way of all is to have a personal teacher. Yeah, because one-on-one attention is the most effective of all. Instead of 30 children or 30 students in one class and one teacher just preaches the standardized information and everyone just learns it, just like by heart, from Bible. So of course, a very big and important skills you would get probably those that would actually bring a real result. Yeah, so whenever you go to the first employer, whenever you do a practice with companies, whatever will bring you the highest, best result, the best appreciation, as I mentioned before, the mastery level, that, somebody could put in notes, or ABC, whatever, 1, 2, 3, that will more or less possess and put you on a certain scale. Are you better than others, or you can learn and improve things? So, but in some ways, some people can, of course, not only to measure the results by the mastery they use in the practice and the income they get, so somebody earns this much, somebody earns more, but also the pleasure that you get from what you're doing. So partly the freelancer or entrepreneur is something that has to be in you. That's something that doesn't let you just be happy too long, for working for a boss or for an employer, that kind of may use you as a cogwheel, use you as an instrument to do something. As we've heard many times, the famous proverb: if you don't build your dreams, somebody would hire you to build their dreams. So it's up to you. You decide. Either you want to build someone's dreams, or someone else's dreams, or your own dreams. So probably it all starts with understanding what is your dream really. And then, according to your desire, what is your dream, the end result that you want to achieve, you will carve your way, your path towards this dream, how to achieve this dream, And then you realize you would need this and this specific skill after you know what exactly you're going to deliver, and to whom and how, So that will convert into possibilities or into money value or something that would allow you to have this choice to get to that dream, right?
First you need to have a dream. You need to have a rough idea where you want to go. Like for example, you want to know how to be a fighter. So then you can start to split your goals into smaller goals. Like, okay, what is a fighter? What he needs to know? Okay, he needs to know how to fight in the ground, how to fight standing, etc. And if you want to become a businessman or successful business, earn money, and this is you need to be successful in business to earn money, except you do other ways that are maybe illegal or other activities, yeah. But in our case, it's business, so then you need to decide, okay, which kind of business you want to be, yeah. Then you can decide which skills you need for to be successful in that business, yeah. And this is the mistake that most people do that need to mention again, yeah. Most people, and I was one of them in the past, yeah, they blame each other people, yeah, if they fail. Yeah, it's the government, they are too bureaucratic and the taxes are too high. And I like the statement from Dan Peña, it's a little bit extreme, but yeah, it just showed the mindset or the focus, yeah. So one time he said, if you feel that you pay too much tax, then it's just you don't earn enough. Because when you earn enough, then you don't feel that you pay tax, even they're high, because you just have still enough money. Yeah, you feel still abundant, you can buy everything. And of course, yeah, it's not always that realistic, but it just shows the mindset. Yeah, so always try to find out what can you do to make things happen. So if you know the direction, then yeah, you can even there you can take help and ask certain guidance from people who are already there where you want to be. Which skills do I need to be successful? It doesn't make sense for me to learn that skill, or do I don't need that really, etc. And for that, in our, for example, in the freelance business, yeah, I mean, you are already a pretty successful freelancer and designer, yeah, earning minimum of 10,000, 15,000, yeah. I have also some experience. If, for example, you think you want to reach a certain level in freelance and you're not there yet, just shoot us a message or let's have a call, yeah, where we try to figure out some things, if it makes sense to you or not, and let's see from there. And let me mention one aspect that comes not just with skills, but also that I mentioned before that content is abundant today's time and it's difficult to choose. Now here's the key. Most people, and this is also crazy, most people act and they decide from a perspective like they live forever. And they think, okay, I can do it by myself. And I tell you something, everyone can do everything by yourself. Yeah, that it's just a question of time. Yeah, even you can learn, become a master of every sport disciplines by yourself. Yeah, without any help. But the point is, you don't have infinity lifetime or infinity time to live. Yeah, so the time is the issue here. Yeah, nobody has. So and now it's even more challenging than in the past. Yeah, you don't have the lifetime, but especially in our industry as a freelancer, software development and designing, the technology evolve faster than the nature or other circumstances. So you have even less time than ever before to learn skills and to use them for your advantage. So it becomes even more important.
Also, you need to be on time. The technology evolves and markets evolve and everything changes. If you don't implement your skills quickly enough, then they will just get out of fashion or get out of demand. So there's always a pressure here. Yeah. Similarly, like in the gym, yeah, if you build your muscle for many years and then you stop doing it for, say, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, then you will lose in just a very short time everything you built in 5 years. Yeah, so you have to continue with it. Yeah, the same as with the skill. Yeah, if you don't practice, you lose very quickly. Yeah, like any talent, any mastery that you have. Of course, part of it is in your brain. So you may not do it manually or actually doing it with, but you may remember a lot of things and principles, in your brain. But if you don't practice it, you lose a lot of that mastery.
And think about techniques like sales. Yeah, in the past, the pushing sales approaches work, and to this time, the people are so advanced that it doesn't work anymore because the people understand it's a manipulation. Yeah, that it looks even fishy. Yeah, So the people stop to trust you. So now the sales evolved into new. So even you was in the past successful in something, it doesn't mean that you continue to be successful. Think about Blockbuster. They resisted to evolve, yeah, like a dinosaurs, yeah. They wanted just to stay where they are, and because they thought, and this is something that you hear a lot, yeah, from large corporations. When you tell them something, they say, yeah, we are successful since 30 years and we have done it always like that. Yeah, well, great. Well, what does it mean now? Dinosaurs existed longer than you for thousands of years and they don't exist now. So they mean nothing. And in today's time, the technology evolved faster than ever before. So you will stay even shorter time than ever before, yeah? if you think like that. So you need constant evolving, constant improving,
Absolutely.
like in the evolution process, like organism. Yeah, you need to adapt. It's not the survival of the strongest, the survival of the fittest. And why is the human the most successful living being on this planet? Because of his brain and his capacities, his intelligence, he's
Adaptability. Yeah.
crazy. He can adapt crazily, more than any other living being on this planet. And why you don't use that ability for your own advantage? Just because arrogance, because you think, I'm so much 30 years, I'm here and I'm so much smart and I stop evolving. Yeah, like that you lose and other will take the business. Yeah, so you get ripped off, and arrogance is a big reason why businesses fail, or laziness also. Yeah, they just resist. You need to be open, and of course it's scarce because if you're open you can lose, but if you're but you can also not gain. Or I would not even. Some people say if you want to win money, you need to risk. I would even say if you want to keep money, you even need to risk, because money you have today, but it will disappear if you don't use it or don't move it into
Absolutely.
investments or anything. Yeah, you just put it under your chair and it will disappear sooner or later.
Yeah, with the
But
money, the same principle applies too. If the money is not just kept and not being used, yeah, there's no flow. The money is being compared to water. Yeah, if you store somewhere water for too long, it just stays and gets rotten. Yeah, rancid. So it goes off. Yeah, the same is the money. If the money is not used, it's just stored somewhere. It loses its value. The same is with the skills.
yeah.
Looks like the same principle works everywhere.
And let me also add, when I started to develop software, in the past you just had HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and that's it. If you want to be a web developer, it's just enough to use that technologies, and you are fine completely. You are the web developer. Today you have crazy separations. You're front-end developer, back-end, and 1,000 languages, 1,000 frameworks. Yeah. So the technologies becomes more specialized more and more, and it's nearly impossible to know everything, to be a master of everything. It's impossible. So you now into this time, it's a trend. It's not working that you learn everything by yourself because you don't have the time. You need to find ways how to cooperate with other people who have certain skills that you need, because this is how it works. Business, marketing, sales, product delivery. Product delivery is also a huge part where you need many skills. So you need to find ways of cooperation. And this cooperation, there can be several ways, but but um, it's not just so you have several choices. You can cooperate in a way that you delegate completely. Yeah, and this is in my business, freelancing developer, they delegate to recruiters, and for that they charge 50% of all the salary that they close with you, not for you, but with you. Even you still need to do the work. Yeah, or like I mentioned before, you go to a master, to a teacher, an authority who can help you clearly with marketing, sales, give you a compressed, valuable working info product or solution that you can implement right away into your business with the right information for you. He can qualify you, choose if you really fit to that solution. If yes, then just take it, implement it. And you don't need to watch millions of YouTube videos, read millions of books. Yeah, you save time basically. It's a time game here. So either you pay the price in time, or you pay the price in something else like money. But
Right.
then you save time.
Yes.
And
But this topic
it.
we'll touch also in detail a bit later, when
Yeah.
the time and money can be replaced and can be used or saved. Yeah, so it's a separate big topic. All right, we're a bit over time. That was Jan and Rudolf with you today. We're going to continue talking about skills and namely the vicious circles that don't allow a lot of people to get skills or not to get the right skills or not high income skills. And we're going to go through it in the next webinar, and please stay with us. Feel free to express your opinion, your experience, your thoughts. They're really precious to us. Feel free to like, follow us, and please join our group in the link that we'll bring below. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.
Yeah, thanks also, and it was a pleasure.